What's up, Neil?
Hey, Cal, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful, thank you.
Well, welcome to Season 3, Episode 7.
Welcome, everybody.
You are sitting awfully close to me.
I know.
But that's for good reason, because we have with us Tank and E from the Extended Play Podcast.
Hey.
How are you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
What's
Doing
up,
fabulous.
fellas?
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
It's our first guest appearance.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
Oh, really? Nice.
Popping our podcast guest cherry.
That's awesome, because to be honest, I'm not so sure that we've been on one yet.
No.
Well, we can make that happen.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's not what I was looking for by
Yeah.
inviting you.
But I think we can make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, we were in that documentary that John Penman did.
Okay.
For a couple minutes when he was filming the Shakedown Street at Billy Strings.
Oh, cool.
Which was pretty interesting. It was fun, and then to see it come out. So
That's awesome.
I think we probably monopolize most of the time. So
That's all right.
So like I said, I kind of just stumbled on you guys probably about midnight or so one night. I saw some of your posts and some of your topics, and I just kind of been following you ever since.
I was trying to think of that, how we came across each other. I do think it was just like a hashtag incident where I was like hashtagging music podcasts, things like that, and then maybe Michigan or Detroit related stuff. And then you guys came up, and then we just like started following each other at the same time. And I've been really enjoying the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I love your guys too, and we've actually started almost the same exact time, about 2
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
So, how's your journey been?
It's been, I don't know. We're in a weird place right now.
Yeah.
So we're the Extended Play Podcast, right? It's just Tank and I. We're lifelong friends. We've known each other since we were 12 years old.
Nice.
Okay. We always talked about music, just hanging out. And then you get older, and shit gets into. You have families, and Tank was living in Europe for a while, so we weren't able to get together to talk about music a lot. Then things kind of converged, and we were able to talk more. And Tank's like, "These are our best conversations. We should record these."
Yeah. And then,
yeah.
We said from the start, even if no one's listening, and for a while, no one was listening. But it's like, fuck it. We're going to do it anyway. Just record it. It's a genuine, sincere, like, we're into it. And for the most part, if you're into stuff, someone's going to pick up on it. If you're sincere and you're passionate about something,
And
then
that's what I like about your guys' show.
Yeah.
And that shines through. I mean, you love the topic.
Yeah.
You're obviously well-versed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys have any musical background?
We have no musical
so
background.
neither do we.
Yeah.
We have
Crazy.
none whatsoever. We just
wish I did.
absolutely love it.
I know.
Yeah,
I wish I did
we
too.
all
I say
wish
that
we
all the
did.
time.
Yeah.
If you did, what would you play?
I had a guitar for a few years. I learned like the first 20 seconds, like 5 Metallica songs, and that was it. I would play drums though, but the problem with drums is like, where do you play them?
Right. Yeah.
But,
See, I would be a drums guy too.
yeah. No, I would love to. It's still a dream. I'd like to have a kid eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter and I just talked about taking singing lessons together.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I could do. I tried to play. I lived in Chicago for 7 years. I took acoustic guitar classes at the Old Town School of Folk Music. I made it through 3 lessons, and I'm like, I cannot. It's the most humiliating experience of my life.
Really?
Like,
Pretty frustrating.
The hand-eye coordination is just not there.
Isn't that-
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Right. But
That's what it is. You don't even realize how hard that is.
To get your hands to do like 2 different things.
Oh, it's
and then,
crazy.
Like, the drums, like now your 2 feet and 2 hands are all doing. And
right. Which, when you think about it, the fact that we have a show where we criticize musicians, it's like, come on, man. We can't do any of this shit.
Can't play one chord.
It's all amazing. The worst shit out there is amazing. Yeah.
I can't even do that.
Right,
Like
yeah,
the most
exactly.
simple thing everyone knows.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, that is hilarious. And I try not to criticize because I can't do it.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you just have to. To be honest, if I go to a show and it is just a dumpster fire, I'm gonna,
I think live shows
if
are
there's something
easier.
I don't really like, I'm gonna tell you, it's not for me.
Yes.
I get, you might like it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shit on you because you
Yes.
like it either.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sick and tired of gatekeepers all around music. It's crazy.
Yes. I think that's been one of the biggest lessons learned during our show is the idea of something being not for you and not just shitty.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff you can laugh about where clearly people weren't putting in a full effort. Live shows, I think it's easy to tell, right? When someone's mailing it in, or when the set list just sucks.
Like Counting Crows.
Right. That is objectively, they chose the wrong songs. I don't feel bad about criticizing it. But like,
Like Tool the other day. Did you see that one?
Like who?
Tool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that. Yeah.
A fucking 2-day concert or 2-day festival with the same fucking people, and they play half the songs. It's like
that was advertised as 2 unique set lists,
and then they cop out. They cop out. So they were unique set lists.
Right.
It's just no, dude.
Yeah, that was a little.
Can you imagine how fucking pissed you would be?
Oh, people paid like
thousands of dollars.
It was a destination thing, right? It was
right. It wasn't even.
Because the guy at my work was looking into it.
Yeah,
he's he went to Sasanta like at Red Rocks or wherever it was out in Denver, and he looked in. He's like, dude, it's like $6,000. He's like,
I mean, can you imagine being in that crowd? And like, because I think the first time they repeated a song was like the 5th song. And Tool songs are like 12 fucking minutes long. So can you imagine being like in the crowd, like, hold on. Yeah. I can just imagine everyone looking at each other in the crowd like, did they play, am I fucked up or did they play this yesterday?
Right. And
then a dick move.
And then they were supposed to play another repeat as the closer, and then they didn't even play it.
Right.
They walked off.
Oh, really? Because they did 10 songs the first night, 9 songs the second night. And of the 9, 4 they played the night before.
God, that's a dick move.
It totally is.
Wow.
And it would have been 5 out of 10. Half of it would have been exactly the same. And people were actually booing and leaving the second set.
So, like, you went to both nights of Metallica.
Yeah.
You and I went to the first night, but then you went to the next night.
Yeah, I made him go.
I just want to know, how would you think of it?
The show was great. The show was great. Yeah. I mean, I think from a production standpoint, from like really smart about having such a huge venue. And I don't go to I know we're going to talk about probably about the venues that we like the most. I'd never been to a show at Ford Field. I never saw a show at the Palace. Like I typically go, I'm the more indie guy. He's the more big spectacle guy. So they did a great balance of like, you're in that huge environment, but it didn't feel huge.
Nice.
Did you guys go to that one?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
When was that?
That was
November of 23.
Yeah.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
Just recently, but
But they didn't play any. I mean, were there any repeats?
Oh no, but that's the whole. It's no repeat weekend.
no
That's the whole
See,
gimmick.
right. Same
Yeah,
generation,
you're right.
essentially, of musicians.
Pump up my boys.
Yeah.
Like Lars, he's famous for whenever they go to a sit. Lars makes the set list.
Oh yeah.
And he pulls up. When's the last time we were here? What did we play? So they try not to repeat from 7 years ago.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I can talk about Metallica.
That's a whole
other podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother topic is set lists, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I used to love Pearl Jam.
Okay.
I still like them, but I went and saw them in August last year. I'm like, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll go again.
Okay.
I probably would, only because the set list sucked.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Oh my! I was so disappointed.
I could see that.
Just like deep cuts? Is that what they're...
No. Well, I mean, they're notorious for... I mean, they'll have 80 to 100 songs ready to go. And
sure.
Change them up, and I'm watching all these set lists beforehand. And they played like, call it 8-ish of the new album.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But they also used to play damn near 30 songs, but they also dialed that back.
Oh. So it's taking a larger
They used to play
percentage.
like 3-hour shows. Now they're 2:15, 2:30, so you play 8 songs new. Mm-hmm. They played one song from Versus.
What?
Which is my favorite album.
Yeah, it's great.
And it was Daughter.
Oh, you don't need to hear that live.
No.
No.
I mean, I'd rather...
It's low energy.
Yep.
Rearview Mirror, Go, Animal. I mean, there's so many other songs.
What a bummer.
Yeah.
And then very heavy on Vitology.
I like Vitology.
I'd like it, but that was where, for me, it was kind of like, okay, I think for me, your plateau is me as a fan.
For sure.
I like this stuff. My taste kind of moving on.
Yeah,
that was like
yeah.
95-ish or so.
Yeah.
96 even maybe. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then you could go 2 nights in a row. And, the next night might have been the best show ever.
Right, totally.
Now, one of my favorite bands ever, Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay.
I understand people, you either love them or you hate them.
Yeah.
And I'm fine. I don't care if you hate them.
Yeah.
I can still go and see them all the time.
Yeah.
For their entire tour, the set list is exactly the same. every night.
Okay.
And I've never really liked that because what if you want to go and kind of, even if it's just mix it up 4 or 5 different ones.
No.
But I did buy his solo tickets.
Oh, yeah. I just saw
St.
that.
Andrews and
Yeah.
Rapids. And I'm like, I hope that he plays something different, but in those venues, I don't care.
Isn't he doing some weird like anniversary of Machina or something like that? Is that those
Yes.
shows? Okay,
Yeah.
so he's going to play a number of songs from that one record.
There's going to be that, and I thought I had read somewhere too, because since it's like the 30th anniversary of Melancholy,
Oh,
there'll
cool.
be some of that as
Great.
well.
Yeah.
And then, who knows?
Yeah, we saw them at Lollapalooza, right? I think.
Yeah, 94.
94.
What did you guys think of that?
I don't know. 94 was like a year of awakening musically for. I think both of us. We started expanding our horizons, and I don't know that we were ready for Lollapalooza, but I think it kind of started things like getting into more
18.
because we're more into hair metal or speed metal and shit like that, or hip and tons of hip hop.
Yeah.
And so to see like Smashing Pumpkins and whoever else was down that bill, it was a crazy bill.
Beastie Boys,
Beastie Boys, P-Funk, like
P-Funk.
Yeah.
Soundgarden, I think.
No, Soundgarden was 92.
Okay.
So 94 was the Breeders.
Right.
It had a Tribe Called Quest.
Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Yep.
Yep. Parliament, Beasties, and Pumpkins. And a lot of people hated the Pumpkins. That's why.
I remember.
Well, the thing
liking it enough.
Yeah. Well, because they still played a lot of the Siamese Dream stuff.
Yeah.
But they also at that time were playing a lot of Gish. Which was a ton of feedback and shit. So there's times their songs are going on for like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And the last 6 are like feedback, and people are like, "What the fuck?"
So funny story about that. It's maybe off topic a little, but I saw them after that. I'm like, I kind of like these guys. I really got into Siamese Dream, and I went and saw them at what was then the State Theater, which is now Fillmore.
It was in '96.
Okay. So, man, you got it. So I went, and at the end of the show, Corgan basically says, you know what, this last song, it's going to get feedbacky and loud and weird. This is really just for us. We're fucking around here. And if you're not into it, you can go. And that's totally cool.
Sure.
And it was great because I wasn't ready for that shit yet. Mm-hmm. And it was going to be like a 15-minute long song. And people just kind of filtered out. I thought that was like tons of respect for your audience to do something like that, right?
Yeah. He's always labeled a dick.
He does seem like
he's hit or miss.
I would say he probably was a dick back in his 20s, but I also kind of give all those people a pass because who fucking wouldn't be?
All that money.
What I mean?
Yeah.
And then all the fame and people in your face, and you're already. I mean, I don't want to say weird, but I mean, like you are in 21 and in one of the biggest bands ever.
Yeah.
So obviously,
I couldn't even imagine.
No, exactly.
We all couldn't. Right?
No.
But I will say, like, because I've seen them now. I think you had maybe missed 1 or 2, but I've seen them 5 times since May of 22.
Okay.
Yeah,
and the interactions with the crowd are it's so much better.
Nice.
And like him and James on stage, and like kind of joking around.
Yeah.
And
plus, every artist, even if they are kind of a dick, they get older, they settle down, they calm down, and they're more appreciative of the moment. Like
I will say,
these people didn't have to be here.
Yeah, sure,
100%.
Yeah.
And he brought his like son out and he was dancing.
Oh, cool.
He was singing. I think it was Ava Adore or whatever.
Okay.
But nice. Couple things. One, he actually said in '94, I remember when it used to be cool to be from Detroit because the crowd was giving him so much shit at
Oh, wow. Okay.
But they fucked that whole thing up.
Yeah.
Because Nirvana was supposed to be the headliner.
Oh, were they?
The rumor was
they
were going to give him $10 million to do the headliner.
Yeah.
Cobain supposedly was like, fuck it, I don't care. I don't want it.
Yeah.
People were pressuring him, and then obviously he died.
Right.
So then they were like, oh shit, what?
Okay.
So that was when then they had the Pumpkins move up to the headliner.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake was moving them to the headliner. Pumpkins were already going to be the one right before.
Oh, they were. Okay.
They should have moved the Beasties to the fucking headliner.
Yeah.
100%.
And because everyone was there to see Beastie Boys.
That
you had literally half and half almost for the Pumpkins, so people were like,
Yeah.
And some of them like walked out with like, that was kind of lame. Even though the whole show up to that point was a killer for her,
Yeah, it's on the promoter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always thought that. I'm like, you could have, if you just made that one little tweak, then it would have had, I think, Tribe and then, because it was like Tribe and Beasties almost back to back anyway.
Was it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it would have been a better, back, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I would say he's a little bit of a kinder, gentler, but I do think that Billy Corgan may be the next Gene Simmons.
Oh, yeah, he does have a mind on his money and his money on his mind.
Absolutely.
His tea shops and being on wrestling, trying to diversify.
He owns the wrestling, always dropping new versions of the albums. I did go to the tea shop, though, when I went to Lollapalooza.
Did you? Okay.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It had little things around.
Yeah.
But that's where they recorded the 30th anniversary of Siamese Dream.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. They were trying to, like, recreate the release party.
They recreated the Tower Records right in there and the thing from 30. I did end up watching it on the stream or whatever, but I tried getting tickets, but it was like insane. A buddy of mine went to it.
No shit. I mean, how many people could fit in there?
It was like 200 people.
200 people. That'd be awesome.
200 people, acoustic, Siamese Dream all the way through.
Amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I recorded. I had to do it on my phone, but then I couldn't record and watch the TV. At the same time. So I had to get my daughter's phone so I could record some of it because I'm like, this is amazing.
That's awesome.
Well, one of them was Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that shit live since.
Do they not do it live?
Well, they just did when I saw them in December at the Aragon.
Okay.
Which technically the name of the song is My Own Eyes.
Oh yeah, that's right. I feel like I read that.
One N versus two in it, and then that was just his funny way to do
That's
it.
cool. Yeah, I like that.
But going back, that 96 show.
Yeah.
So that was at the State Theater.
Yes.
And the thing is, that's like 2,500 people.
Yeah,
give or take.
Yeah.
And that was at the height of their like popularity.
Yeah.
Because that was right when Melancholy came out. So that, if you look at that set list, I always go back. Do you ever look at those?
No, I don't. Not past ones. No.
Setlistfm.com.
Yeah.
Because I'll go back because I'm like, oh, when did I hear that song?
Sure.
So I'm looking at that. I mean, literally, Gish, Siamese Dream, Melancholy, and like 25 songs.
Wow.
It was like the most incredible show.
Yeah.
But we actually saw one of the last 6 shows of the true Smashing Pumpkins.
Because Jimmy Chamberlain left after that?
Well, he was kicked out. Because Jonathan Melvin or whatever passed.
Yeah.
That was like 6 shows after we saw.
No shit.
And then Chamberlain was gone.
Okay.
And by the time he came back, the others were gone.
Yeah.
And so now it's back to, obviously,
Just
Chamberlain, Eha, and Corgan.
Right.
Which that's always been that.
Yeah, sure.
People are always like, oh, I miss Darcy. Do you really?
Yeah. Do you know bass that well?
Right. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, they have Jack Bates now.
Okay.
Who is the son of Peter Hook.
Oh, no shit. From New Order. Okay.
Yeah. And so he plays with Peter Hook and the Light,
Okay.
and he's been playing with the Pumpkins since like 18.
Okay.
You might as well just make him the 4th member.
Yeah.
I kind of hate that they do that,
Didn't Garbage open that show?
Yes.
And they were Shirley, you like Shirley Manson.
Oh, yeah.
She was incredible.
Yes.
Like rock star persona.
Coming in town, or
there's something going on.
Yeah,
like
they're coming, and it's
is it local here?
Masonic, I think. I think it's Masonic.
Okay. Yeah, she was fantastic. Just commanded the stage, right? Just incredible.
See, I totally forgot about that
Yeah.
until I looked up that set list,
Yeah.
and then it was like opener Garbage. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah.
I don't even remember seeing Garbage.
That was, I think, after the first album, right? Which was a great record, right? Yeah. So,
I just wanted to take a moment to thank Whole Nation for my buzz today. It's not like starting the first episode with a triple IPA.
I didn't even realize it was a triple. Jesus.
Well, this is actually the last day we're recording in this studio. So you guys will be the second to last episode.
Should we trash it when we're done?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
I hope so.
Just throw a shark out the window.
We're in the basement. We can't throw shit out the windows.
Well, we got an egress. We just got to throw it like this. It's hard.
You have to throw it up.
Some of the couch out there.
It loses something. We have to throw it up. Yeah.
So the one thing I do remember, 2 things that stick out about your show.
Oh.
One, I remember catching just a short clip. It might have been like a promo.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I want to say it was you talking about NWA.
Okay.
It might have been like one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
So that
just because I'm a huge, us older white guys, we loved it.
That's our shit.
Right. And then you grow up and you look like older white guys and you still talk about it. Yeah. But that, and then when you guys were going through like the top 100, you guys did.
I think it was the same thing.
I thought it was too.
Straight Outta Compton made our list of, so we did.
So it was albums? Is that what
albums?
it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for anybody that's just being introduced to us for the first time, we did a countdown of the 100 best albums of our lifetime. So roughly 1980.
And this is
to 2020.
your guys'.
Yes.
No input from anyone else.
No input. Well, okay, not input. But
no, I mean, like, you didn't look at other lists and all that.
Yeah, because it's like, where do you start something like that, right? It's overwhelming. So, we took all the popular lists, dumped them into a bucket, and said, here's 800 or so albums that are, we'll call them candidates, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, we said, okay, here's the 100 that we think are the best. We did 1980 to 2020 because, like, after that's too recent. Before 1980, we're not going to re-legislate, is the White Album better than Houses of the Holy? Or,
right.
Okay, that's for other people. But, like, since we were kind of, like, buying music, I think my first album was 1983. It's the Footloose soundtrack.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that I bought on cassette, and I left it on the jewelry counter at Hudson's. I started crying. My mom had to go get it. Yeah, very distinct.
Hudson's.
That's a great origin story.
Lakeside Mall, rest in peace. Yeah, but ever since, so it's like, okay, since we've been in music, let's just focus on that period.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so we were doing a countdown of the top 100 albums of our lifetime, and NWA Straight Outta Compton was on the list, and I was,
of course,
yeah, and I was wearing. I just happened. We're video. We started doing video about a year ago. We added video, so every episode is video. You can listen to it audio only, but we are recording video pretty much every time. And I was wearing what I wear. I'm kind of a dandy, so I had like a yellow cardigan sweater, like some flowery shirt underneath. And I was talking straight to camera, looking at myself and saying like, "Oh, what's great about this album?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I look like a fucking douche." And so I said something akin to like, "Yeah, like you want to take your advice on '80s hip hop from this guy."
Yeah, that was a line. I was rolling. But that's the beauty of music, though. Is anyone can absolutely. You have your own opinion, but you can actually be a pretty damn well-versed, almost expert in any genre.
Yeah,
and that's why I always say we're the garage band of podcasts where no genre's off limits.
Yeah.
I'll go to any show. I'll have people on. You know what? I love hearing about concerts and music that I've never really been exposed to.
Yeah, totally.
That you guys are like, oh my god, you got to go. Like one was Frank Turner.
Okay.
Never listened to him, never even heard of him.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was someone about 6 months ago, my stepbrother, was like, oh, have you ever seen Frank? You got to go. And then I'm like, you get busy. You just forget about shit. Well, then another buddy of mine just went over to like England to watch the dude's like 3,000th show.
Okay. And
he's playing the L Club in Mexican Town.
Yeah.
It's like 400 people.
Yeah.
I'd never been there before.
Oh, nice.
And I've been listening to him, and it's like he's like a UK guy.
Okay.
So it's like a folky punk type. It's awesome. So
nice.
I'm so excited for that show.
Isn't that great?
Like, but I'm totally off my radar.
Yeah.
Never would have picked that one or listened to them. You hope you come across them, but it's almost harder now. Because you don't listen to the radio. Yeah. People aren't really just like talking music and exchanging it.
No.
And you say, oh, listen to this song. I'm like, well, don't they have other songs? That was the best. I would get an album and listen to it. And then you would see all those deeper cuts in a concert.
Yeah. And
then like that's when you really got
that's a whole episode I think we've had in the back of our heads for a while is this disconnect now, and the lack of the water cooler, because like I work from home, right? Yeah, like you're not talking to people about what you're into, and you're not there's no common culture, right? Like not everybody's in their own little you can get so far deep into like fucking black metal and then like all the subgenres thereof that you never talk about the stuff that everybody can get into. And then you miss out on a lot of cool new stuff.
100%.
Right? And then there's always the thing of like you don't know who to like. Yeah, somebody may give you a suggestion, you're like, I'm not into that at all, and you have to deal with that.
Right? You have to hey, did you listen to them?
I'm like, yeah, I did.
What'd you think?
Not my thing.
Yeah.
And you hope that they're like, it's not for everyone, because that should be everyone's attitude about music. But people, no, everything, it always comes back to apparently Lane Staley and Alice in Chains are the best band ever. No, it's a man.
See, I don't jive with that attitude. That's the thing. I think one of the unique things about Tank and I is that, and one thing I think that has been really good about the podcast is it's forced us to keep listening to new music.
Yes.
You can't get lazy. Because it's kind of a cop-out. We could be a show that talks about Kiss and whatever all the time, and I guess that's something, but why?
You run out of material.
We're still just as passionate now.
And how do you gain a new following? Mm-hmm. Like, younger generation can give two flying fucks about Kiss because you know what? They kind of suck. I fucking hate to say it.
They were of a time. Right. There's a bubble.
They were great at their point in time when they were at the height, and kind of took rock to a whole different level, right? But they do kind of suck. Yeah. And they definitely shouldn't be playing anymore. But that being said,
they're going to have the holograms do it for us.
That's right. Yeah. But no, that's what I totally agree. It's made us really pay more attention. I mean, we just went to the Freako show at the Loving Touch in Ferndale.
No shit. No, I've never been to Loving Touch.
I mean, it is tiny.
Is it?
I mean, it's like a bar. They have pool tables in it that they move.
Yeah, at most 200 is kind of like...
Couple hundred. 200-300
awesome.
maybe.
Yeah,
and
it's cool.
I just saw actually a buddy of mine's from Chicago, so knew of them.
Okay.
But then saw him play on like a little side stage at Lollapalooza.
Okay.
Then I saw him at the Majestic in September, open for Royal Otis out of Australia.
Okay.
They're known for the Cranberries cover of Linger.
Okay.
And that's where they got famous.
Do they like flip it on its head, or like is it a different style of music?
They do it good. I mean, it's basically, that's the new thing, right? It's a two-piece with a touring band.
I see. Gotcha.
And young guys,
Okay.
I'll put him at like 21-ish.
Okay.
Guy on the guitar, other guy sings, and I think he plays guitar for some songs. But they're really good.
Okay. Nice.
I was pretty impressed with them. But then we saw Freako at Loving Touch. It was amazing to see just from August to now, because this was the tail end of this tour. Like 30 dates or something. Their first big tour, first album.
Yeah.
And I'm watching, like, holy shit, these guys are like, what a difference,
Nice.
And that was a good feeling, because you probably remember that when you catch that band early on.
Absolutely.
And then you're watching them, and then you see these shows, and they're getting a little bigger, but they're getting better, and then all of a sudden, they get too big, and then that's where the snobs come.
Right.
I remember when I saw them at the Loving Touch.
Yeah. When they got signed to a major label. Yeah, that's a shitty attitude.
No. It drives me nuts, because you know what? There's nothing better than a live show for me.
Yeah, I think
what keeps you guys going? Because you guys still go to shows quite a bit, or as much as you can, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I probably should go more. I mean, I think I'm probably 3 to 5 a year. I need to get out more.
Yeah.
You're probably more 10.
Probably more closer to 10.
Okay.
But definitely since we started doing the podcast, we're going more.
Yeah,
right.
And this summer we're gonna go almost for business purposes. So it's like, you know what? If something remotely interesting might come out of this, let's go. Doesn't have to be like one of our favorite.
Absolutely.
bands.
Yeah.
That's how exactly. There's been some like Violent Femmes. Never seen them. Was a huge fan. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, that's a show I want to see.
Yeah.
Because I always say it's like, if you have those bands, even remotely, you want to see them, you better fucking go.
Better go.
You never know.
One of our funnier stories, actually. So we have a deal, because we both have a pretty eclectic mix of taste, E and I.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of overlap, not a lot.
Not a lot, actually.
But
crazy.
So we have a deal, though. We're getting older. When you're younger, it's like, what are we doing this weekend? Like, let's go see a show. All right, whatever. You get older, you lose people to go to shows with, right? Mm-hmm. So we have a standing deal that's like, if one of us wants to go, the other has to say yes.
Yeah, I like it.
So this is like maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, it's a Sunday night. We're going to go see this band called Astronoid. I'm like, okay, never heard of them?
Astronoid.
Astronoid.
Terrible band name, first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a good start.
That's why I repeated it. Astronoid?
So I'm like, okay, where's it at?
Very bad hemorrhoid.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's like, where's it at? He's like, was it the Crowfoot?
Yeah, the Crowfoot.
in Pontiac.
Yeah,
In Pontiac.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we live, I mean, it's a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
So Sunday night, we're like, all right, well, let's go get some food or drinks for it. So we drive to downtown Pontiac, which you can imagine on a Sunday night, there's tumbleweed.
Right.
Yeah, no one there. Yeah.
But then we're getting closer to the venue, and it's like, okay, where are we going to park? And then we're right in front of it, and there's no cars here. Like, is this okay? So we park, we go in.
We try to get a drink. Every place is closed.
Every place is closed. So we finally go in, and the show starts at 7 maybe, and it's like 6:45.
No opener.
No opener.
Yeah.
We go in to the bar. There are 5 people in there. So, and as it turns out, the band is setting up, and then it turns out the other people that aren't us are family members of the band.
Oh yeah, the people are staying with. They're sleeping on these people's couches.
Yeah. So then, like the show starts, and you can't hide in that situation. It's like, I don't know the band, I don't know the songs, I can't fake the excitement. I'm like, I'm just here for the spectacle. But the lead singer had great, because they play all instrumental, but the guy had their instrumental.
Oh. No, he sings.
Okay, that's how much I paid attention. Yeah. So, but he had a great sense of humor. He comes out, and he's like, "Who's ready to rock?" But it was like awkward and awesome, because like I can't normally at a show you can like check your phone, like kind of tune out.
Yeah, right.
They're looking at you, right? You have to be there like, all right, man, this is awesome.
And he's thinking, my management booked this fucking place where they knew there were no tickets sold right ahead of time. Yeah, and on top of it, the Crowfoot has essentially 2 venues.
Yeah,
Crowfoot's like an upstairs bar essentially.
So is Crowfoot the one that's the old Clutch Cargos?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's super small.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's an actual theater like down the hall. And there was like remember it was like a twerking contest. It was like a hip hop show. It was a Sunday night. It was way louder down there than it was in our venue. And these guys are like thrash metal. Like they're playing loud and fast, and you can still hear fucking Juvenile and Master P down there way more than
Juvenile, Master P. Do you guys know of a band called The National?
Yes. Yeah.
So I've seen The National at Crowfoot.
No shit.
Nice. And not that theater, but that little bar.
Yeah, the little bar.
Nice.
Wow.
Way back in the day, they were not big yet.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, holy shit. And there's, 100, people there. 100
Probably at most, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I went, why we went. It's like,
Why not?
shows like that are like a fucking lottery ticket. You're probably going to lose.
Well, I like
But even
that
if you lose,
guys
you got a
went.
good story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it might be the best show ever because you got to vibe with the band and you drink beers with them. And
Yeah,
Right. No, absolutely. And you know what? For me, I was never I mean, when I first went to shows, you would get there early no matter what, so you'd see openers. But like you said, sometimes, I mean, you had a garbage Smashing Pumpkin, or, you know, the opener's like insane.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go to these theater shows, and it's like the opener's whatever, right?
Right.
But I make sure I go now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
even if it's just, well, I also do a lot of networking. You know?
Yeah, sure.
I'm in the smoking lounge all the time
Okay.
because that's where the people hang out.
I bet.
You can start talking. I
bet.
pass out stickers. and hang out.
That's true.
I do miss it, but I always try to get at least one video from the opener or
Nice.
as much as I can. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's like totally surprising. You're like,
Yeah,
"Holy
absolutely.
shit, these guys are amazing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then that's always been what I love doing was kind of like spreading the word about new music.
Absolutely.
You know, I will say to the day I die, no one was a bigger fan of Wilco
Nice.
except for me. And I brought everyone on board with that.
That's awesome.
Right from day one.
Your friend group, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh my God, listen to this. And, you know, if they're coming, like, we're all going.
There's
and they
no-
played the Majestic,
Nice.
and they had old 97s open up.
Jesus.
Which I love old
Yeah, they're great.
97s. And I went back and looked at that set list from the Majestic, and it was everything AM, Being There, Summer Teeth, and some of Mermaid Avenue.
Okay.
And it was like 25, 27 songs.
Awesome.
It was like going back and you actually realize
Yeah.
what I just saw.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, but
Yeah.
like you don't really realize it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you were at that one.
Yeah.
I know for sure. And them and then Sunvolt at the Majestic.
Oh,
and
nice.
then old 97s I saw at the Magic Stick, which
Yeah.
is even smaller.
I saw Iron and Wine at Magic Stick. That was
So
a
how
fucking
was that?
bizarre. It was terrible. And he's great. I really like Sam Beam, the guy that is Iron and Wine, right?
Right.
And this was after the second full length, I think, whatever year that was. The Magic Stick, again, for people who don't know, it's
the upstairs.
it's a bar
Yeah.
and a pool hall, essentially. And
It's right in the name.
I can't, well, maybe a different kind of magic stick.
Yeah, well,
That's
what
like,
kind of nugget is.
that's like the magic bag, right? In Ferndale.
yeah.
It was finally like this year. I'm like, man, do you think the guy, were they talking about dope this whole time? A magic bag? I'm like,
Yeah. No,
Oh,
so
wait.
that's.
I think we need to go ahead before we forget the Magic Bag. Remember the show we went to there?
I didn't go.
You weren't there?
No.
you weren't there. Okay. So one of the artists that we sort of either ironically kind of like is PM Dawn. Remember PM Dawn? Like a dive with
yeah.
All right. So there were like four of
little
us.
sunglasses, dress.
Exactly. Like the little dude and the big dude.
Hippie vibe.
So we're like, let's go to the PM Dawn show because there's this one song in particular that we love. It's like they'll fucking play it, whatever. You got nothing else to do on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
So we go, and Magic Bag seats 1,000 maybe.
500. I would say
Oh, really?
five
Nice.
to seven.
Okay.
So it was
Depending how packed they are.
probably 50-70% full when the show or when it was supposed to start. Apparently they had an airplane flight. They were late, right? So they were hours late. And the promoter would come out every 30, 40 minutes with his cell phone and put him on the microphone. And they'd be like, hey, what's up? Like, we're on the 9th floor. We're on our way. We're like, we'll be there in a minute. It's going to be bang. It's going to be awesome.
Like nobody calls it that.
Exactly.
No, yeah. Where?
Why not 94? You should be on 75.
You should be on the 7-5.
You should be on the 7-5, bitch.
So over time, because like no one's that big of a PM Dawn fan, right? So as time goes on, people are just filtering out. We're like, we're in it.
Yeah.
You're there.
So
You're invested.
they go on maybe 11, and there are 10 to 15 people there. So they get on stage, and it is the most anticlimactic. Like, there's no instruments. It's fucking PM Dawn. There's no instruments. There's no backdrop. There's no lighting. There's no smoke, fog, nothing. It's just at like 11:17, this big ass guy and his little buddy just walk on the stage.
Little buddy.
So there's the one song. Fuck, what's the name?
Die without you.
No,
that's
but there's
incredible.
one
That's a
song.
great song.
It's a great fucking song.
Yeah.
I will not besmirch that song.
No, it's great.
But there's this one song. It's like I like
They
the
have
way.
like
I forgot the name of the song, but it's a deep cut, and it's the only fucking reason we were there. It's like when we go to see Poison, we want to see Ride the Wind.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
And I know what you're talking about. They have like 3 really good songs.
Yeah,
right.
Go ahead.
So we're like, all right, this is what we want to hear. And we're up on the barrier because, of course, we are, because there's fucking 10 people there. And the big guy, is that Prince B?
Again,
Prince
phones
B.
securely in your pocket because you can't do shit because they're locking eyes the whole time.
Right, exactly.
It's like locking eyes with your dog when they're shitting.
Yeah, exactly. We're in this moment now. So he sits on a chair because he can't stand and perform, apparently. He died a handful of years later.
Yeah, he did.
He was not in great shape.
Yeah.
So then the DJ, and I'm air quoting because he comes out with a fucking iPod, and that's not an exaggeration. He didn't even bother to have the courtesy to set up like some fucking turntables, whatever. He walks out with an iPod connected like via USB to a PA system, and we're like, oh, like play, because they're asking like, what do you want to hear?
Like, what do you want to hear? Like individually.
It's like you, Tank. Everyone gets to pick 3 songs.
Don't worry, you'll get 2 or 3.
Yeah. Like a fucking fantasy football draft. We're gonna go snake order here. And so we request that one song, and I shit you not, he goes, yeah, we don't have it.
Oh, God.
No way.
We're just the people that made it, but we don't have it.
It's like, you have, at this point, they have 4 albums, maybe? It's like, what do you have, like 1 megabyte on that thing?
Didn't one of our friends take her bra off and throw it at them?
Yes.
Yes. 10 people in the audience.
Fucking disaster of a show. They end up doing like an hour.
Was it the old little like iPod clip-on?
Yeah.
You would put
The shuffle. The real player.
I can't choose specific songs. I got the shuffle here. Like, whatever we get, we get.
Oh, what a fucking disaster.
I will say the Magic Bag,
that
though,
sucks.
it's one of my favorite places because they have surprisingly amazing acts.
Yeah, they do.
I saw Cracker there in January.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was never a huge Cracker fan.
Oh, do you have like a
somewhere?
Yeah.
And I was never a huge Cracker fan,
Okay.
but I listened to him early in college.
Sure.
I'm like, it's at the Magic Bag.
They had some jams, though.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what I realized when you
believe
go
it.
to these shows and you're like, motherfucker,
yeah.
I forgot about that one. You forgot about that one, and then you're hearing other stuff.
Yeah.
For like
But,
$30. I mean, whatever.
it was like 30,
like,
40
Yeah, why not?
You can still find good tickets, especially at places like that, and you can upcharge to like stand on the side.
Sure.
But what I found, so I went to the Helmet show.
Oh, nice.
Helmet at the Magic Bag.
Was it good?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sounded awesome. It was
Yeah.
like super loud, but I'll
Yeah.
say it was like really tight.
Nice.
You heard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he could be loud, but be distorted and shitty. It was loud
Sure.
and awesome.
Nice.
And I was never a huge Helmet fan.
Okay.
But I did like, was it Unsung?
Unsung was
that
a good
the-
one.
or
Yeah.
Was that
There's
the
a few
first
Helmet
album?
That was the
songs I
big
like.
hit.
No,
Yeah.
Unsung was a hit, but it was In the Meantime.
Yes.
Was that the name of the
Oh,
first
was it?
album
Okay.
or whatever? And then they came out with Betty.
Okay.
So this was the 30th anniversary of Betty.
Okay.
So they played all of that and then all those other fucking.
Oh, nice.
They played like 30 songs.
Jesus.
But first band comes out, see them War on Women, which they were really good.
Okay.
And the other thing I like, if you go and see the openers, you can hang out with them after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
You
cool.
know, so you go meet them, look at
Yeah.
pictures, and you talk
Totally.
to them, and you know it's awesome just seeing them try to make it, and they were really good. So then I'm going to talk to the other people. I didn't realize there's another fucking band coming out,
Oh.
but it's like 9:15.
Oh, yeah. We've gone through that.
I don't appreciate that. That pisses me off.
Right.
Like, look, I got shit to do.
Well, this was a Sunday show, which actually I do love Sunday shows. But they were called Slomosa, and they're out of Norway. So it's kind of like you know how they love like kind of like their metal,
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
headbanging. But
Yeah.
they were really good.
Okay.
And then by the time they did not end till like 11:45 on a Sunday fucking night, dude.
Wow.
They ripped through like 27 songs.
The opener?
No.
But still, not the headliner, though, right?
No. Helmet was a headline.
Right, but Helmet didn't start until 11:45?
No, they started at about
okay.
call it.
Oh, I see what you're
They
saying.
started about 10.
Gotcha.
They didn't
Gotcha.
fit.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to shows ending anywhere between 10
and 11, yeah.
11
Yeah.
the absolute
Yeah.
latest.
My understanding is as for the bigger venues, after 11, it's a huge union issue.
Correct.
That they can't go 1 minute after. It's massive overtime.
And also a neighborhood issue with sound, right?
Especially
Depending on the
with
venue.
now.
Sure.
Yeah.
with the sound
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
And I remember like the little venues and theaters. I mean, that would be the norm back then.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm 50 now. That ain't the norm for this guy.
That's what I was going to say. Is we talk about long shows, like My knee. I told him we went to go see. Was it the Hives? Well, the Hives, and we saw
No,
Kamasi.
it was Kamasi, Washington.
Kamasi, Washington, which was like the last show before COVID. That was like March 14th, 2020.
It was like days before the world got shut down. Like,
So that was at St. Andrews, and we went back to see the Hives at St. Andrews last year.
Yeah.
But like I tell them, my knees have 2 hours. If it's a standing show, like that, I can't do 2.5, 3 hours.
Right.
No, we had an issue where we went to see Explosions in the Sky, my wife and I. We went since then. I've seen them a few times now. And it was at Masonic Temple.
Yep.
Okay. Had never actually been. I'd never been in the Masonic Temple. Didn't list the openers. Could not find it. Wasn't on setlist.fm. I could not find how many openers or what time they went on. Any of that kind of stuff. We get there. There are 3 fucking openers. 3.
It's bullshit.
I'm a married dude with a young kid.
I gotta work tomorrow.
I gotta work. I got a babysitter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like she's in high school. She can't stay out till 1 o'clock in the morning, where the fuck it is.
Yeah.
We had to leave in the middle of the set.
Yeah.
That's awful.
I was so mad. I mean, luckily we got to go see him again in a smaller venue. And
When was that first one with their daughter?
Explosions? It was probably
Just out of
5 years ago.
All right.
The last one we saw was maybe a year ago. We saw them at Royal Oak Music Theater.
Yes.
Yeah, which is way
You
better.
too, or did your daughter at least get to see that one too, or no?
No, she didn't know. It was my wife and I who had went.
Oh, your wife and I.
Yeah, and she went. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Tank and I and my wife came and
that's
we
good.
did that show. That was a good show.
Yeah.
Gosh, I've
like
never heard of them.
They're all instrumental.
Yeah.
Did you watch
Okay.
Friday Night Lights, the
Yeah.
TV show?
Yeah.
All that music, all that
really?
cool guitar music.
Oh, all
the
right.
intro is Explosions in the Sky.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You'll totally dig
it's
it.
atmospheric, loud, quiet, loud, quiet.
Loud, quiet,
Pretty good.
loud,
I didn't know them at all before the show. I did end up buying the album after. So it's
Nice.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
It's like
too.
Apollo's Ghost. Ray
Ghost.
Mouse's band from Brooklyn. Remember we had him on?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Our claim to fame last season, we had Peter DiStefano on the show
Okay.
from Porno for Pyro.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
The guitarist, right? You know, and because they were forming this new band,
Okay.
so we had him on, and it was him and bass player and drummer from like Brooklyn, but obviously Peter's from LA. So we're having him on or whatever, and it's actually the last thing we heard because I have to get up and turn off the Zoom meeting. So sometimes they're still on when you hit it. So
Yeah.
the last thing I heard was, "Well, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?" Mm-hmm. So I'm like, "Oh man, that's awesome."
Yeah.
So then, but like, your episode won't come out until probably almost 2 months from now.
Oh, okay.
We banked quite a few since our
Gotcha.
situation.
Gotcha.
Here. And so theirs was dropping like a month later. So I'm getting ready to drop it, and I'm on Instagram ready to tag Chevron Buffet, which is the name of this band.
Okay.
Can't find them. So I text the one guy, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm having trouble." He's like, "Yeah, we're not playing together anymore." So in the time that we actually recorded it and dropped it, they broke up.
Oh,
Band broke up.
Yeah. But we were on the leading edge of both news. Brand new band with Peter DiStefano from Porno for Pyros.
Right.
Breaks up. The whole career arc.
Incredible.
You could do a documentary.
Absolutely.
Behind the music.
Well, don't laugh. I am actually making a documentary
Behind the music.
now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
The whole two dudes' journey with the divorce and everything
Oh, fun.
else and all that. But the climax is what of course you have to have a plan B, but my climax is I'm going to Ben Harper's my Forever Five. So
Nice.
we got to get in that.
Yeah,
with you
sure.
guys. But I saw him and I figured it out. It was '96. He opened up for Dave Matthews.
Okay.
At Pine Knob.
Yeah.
Where they played 5 songs
What?
because Freddie Jones was like the middle.
I used to like Freddie Jones
love
in
him
college.
too.
Yeah.
Freddie Jones
It
is
does not
sweet.
hold up, but it was good then.
In the danger is always good to
That's a
hear
good
when it
song.
shows
Yeah,
up on
yeah,
the playlist. But it was them, Ben Harper, then Freddie
Okay.
Jones and Dave Matthews, and I just remember that was the first time I saw him. I'd listened, some of his stuff, but for him, if you actually see it live, totally different.
Yeah.
To me, especially with the sit down slide
the
and
lap
everything.
steel. Yeah.
And so, as I was going through this whole divorce and everything, I already had this in the back of my mind because with 2 dudes, I just do it.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, for the last 2 years, I've done what I wanted to do.
Sure.
Sometimes she would go, sometimes she wouldn't.
Yeah.
But so, before this even happened, I'm like, you know what? Ben Harper's going on a whole tour, and he's coming back to Royal Oak Music Theater
Okay.
June 6th. I'm like, well, of course I'm going to that, but I'm like, fuck it. June 4th, he's in Toronto, and June 7th, he's in Chicago.
No shit.
So on June 3rd, I'm driving up to Toronto.
Nice.
I'm going to hang out there for a couple days, check out the show.
Yeah.
Come back the next day. have a couple old soccer buddies that I'm going to end up crossing paths with
Okay.
along the way that live up there.
Okay.
And then drive back, go see him on the 6th in Royal Oak, wake up the next day, drive to Chicago and see him in Chicago
Incredible.
at the auditorium. And the whole crux of this documentary is going to be me trying to get an actual interview with Ben Harper.
Nice.
So I'll be part of,
Okay.
And I'm assuming that probably won't happen, but you never know.
You bring a big ass sign to the first show.
There you go.
I'd be like, interview, question mark, like, see you in Detroit.
Yeah, right.
And then have another sign in Detroit that says interview, question mark,
Yeah.
see you in Chicago. And be like, all right, this fucking guy's trying.
Right.
And then maybe throw him your fucking underwear.
Yeah. Bring up around just in case.
It's always like that.
Royal Oak is actually, they're doing seating on the floor. I'd never seen that before. At Royal
I've
Oak.
done that once. Yeah,
How was
I
it?
wasn't crazy about. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole probably separate conversation. The seating at a show, that can be. It's a wildly different experience depending on show to show. And I think sometimes the artists make the wrong call and have chairs when they shouldn't, or vice
See,
versa.
that's what I was wondering. Because, I mean, it's Ben Harper in this and Criminals, but they also really slow it down at times. So I'm kind of wondering what kind of show is this going to
and
be?
also,
This tour?
I think it's more about their fan base.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I really like the
Be my 2-hour knees.
right.
Yeah.
Like, I really like the Verve Pipe. Like, that's another
They're
college.
coming. They're doing.
They're always-
No,
they
I
seem
saw
like
that
always be
they were-
around.
I saw a couple of. You
Yeah.
know, they were advertising, but like either the Fillmore or
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
They're coming to do.
But big.
I've never seen them before. But
Oh no shit!
yeah.
So we were in East Lansing when they were huge,
Okay.
and they're at Grand
Okay.
Rapids
You guys are
/
state
Lansing.
guys?
What's that?
You guys are state guys.
Yes, we
okay.
are. Yeah, we were roommates.
Detroit Titan guys.
Okay, nice. But
Sweet mates.
okay, we were roommates.
Roommates and sweet mates.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But so I follow them on social media. I still think they're great. Then whatever. I'm gonna be a stereotype, just like we said earlier. The older stuff was better, but the new stuff, right? But
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's most
I
bands.
remember people
Yeah,
were
like
dogging them
most
that they
bands.
were
Yeah.
playing shows
Right.
like for like $5
Right.
grand at someone's birthday party. Like, dude, we just love playing.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
want to hear us.
yes,
Why not?
Exactly.
And which is, what?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Who cares?
right. But
It's either that or they go on OnlyFans and start fucking hawking their feet.
like Kate Nash, right? But I follow them on social media, and they'll show these shows, and it's all seated. It's
really?
all seated. This is a rock. Yes, The Freshman is their biggest song, and it's a slow song.
Yeah.
But they are a rock band.
Yes.
It's all people that look like us, our age, right? All middle-aged white people, and they're all just sitting there, like quietly watching it creeps. I don't like it. That's
Yeah,
not rock and roll to me.
Yeah.
And I agree. There should never be seats in that scenario.
Yeah.
And if people need to have seats, they're available.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly right. And put them a little further
Yeah,
back.
don't force it on the pit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, I mean...
But it sets a tone. It sets a tone that
totally
you're
does.
only going to
Yeah.
get so into this.
That's true.
I saw PJ Harvey in September at the Masonic Cathedral.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why, but she has always been like that one artist from the 90s where I've like loved.
She's great.
But I never like continued to listen to her. I was never that deep into her,
Okay.
even in the 90s.
Okay.
But I'm like, I know she's fucking talented, and for some reason, I'm like, this show is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So I actually bought like the Belkin, or the
Okay.
the old man and the Muppets. They're,
Yeah.
I bought one
Yeah,
of the
the
boxes.
thing up on the side. Yeah.
I bought like the second one, like
Okay.
right in the corner, and that was like the best show I've.
Nice.
I actually call it's my number 2 show of last year.
Okay.
Number 1 was Pumpkins at the Aragon in Chicago, hometown show. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
But that show, literally, in between every song that she played, not one person stood up.
Okay.
People didn't. At the end of the song, people clapped.
Okay.
During the song, you didn't hear a sound, and then in between songs, you would actually hear her shoes like on the
No
wood
shit.
floor.
But it worked?
It worked.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
People, because then you post videos and people like, are people sitting down? And it was like even when she would like bring out
Yeah,
the
yeah,
electric
yeah.
and get a little harder, and that people were still, but
It
was
worked.
But it was a show.
Yeah.
It was like in a performance.
Yeah,
Like,
that
she
makes
had this
sense.
whole thing set
That
up.
makes sense.
And I'm like, it just worked, and then I'm like, it was amazing.
You
it was
po-
almost like you were mesmerized, and
Right.
like at a certain point, you didn't even realize you're just sitting there with your jaw
Yeah.
dropped or whatever.
You posted a clip of one song that I didn't know that was a deep cut and made it onto one of my playlists. Because I'm like, holy shit, I remember that.
Yeah.
And it was a 30-year-old song or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's-
holy shit,
As
is that
Kel
good?
said, I wasn't even a big
Right.
fan in the 90s, but
that's what
she's
you gotta-
fucking talented.
Well, in
Absolutely.
fact, the one thing I absolutely loved her song, 50 Foot Queenie.
Okay.
And I'm like,
That was like the big one. Kind
yes,
of. Yeah.
Yeah, down by the water.
Oh, right. Yeah,
biggest,
that's right.
But
That's
50 Foot Queenie, and
Yeah.
that's where she's like really jamming, and it's like fast, and
Yeah. It was on like
so I'm
120
sitting there, and
minutes.
I'm like, not only that, the Masonic Cathedral, especially in those boxes, it almost feels like you're cheating or something.
Really?
Because the seats are like cushioned
Oh, nice.
and they swivel.
Nice.
So I'm sitting here with my
in.
phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even have to put it up here. I'm literally just like this, and I'm just swiveling in my seat, like following her around. It's like I would forget I was even fucking recording at the time. You know?
Yeah. Amazing.
And but no, it was. I've never experienced a show like that.
Yeah.
Where the audience behaved that way.
Yeah.
And you usually you just got some asshole. Hey, play Scared! Yeah.
Piece of shit.
But not with her, because apparently the audience is a little higher class. Yeah, it's clientele.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, though, so I go and see that show. I mean, of course, beforehand, I'm meeting up with people and talking to people, but I hear music starting. I'm like, holy shit, this is her. And it was like 8 o'clock.
Oh, geez.
Like on the dot. I'm
Okay.
like, holy shit, so I'm hurrying up, get in my seat. Everyone else is already in the box. So I'm watching, never say a word to anyone. I never talk. I don't sing. I don't do any of that
Okay.
shit. I'm here to see them.
Sure.
I hate the singers. I
too,
hate the
actually.
drunk.
That's
I
a
hate-
conversation for sure. Yeah.
I hate the fucking drunk ass people that want to hold on the conversation with their buddy they haven't seen since yesterday.
Or they have to go get beers every 3 seconds
Right.
and walk right in front of you.
It's just like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy it, you
Yeah.
know? Like, but people will complain about me because I'm sitting here like this. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But, so, watch it by the end of the show. I look at the guy sitting next to me and I'm like, and again, I'm like so into it.
Yeah.
I'm like, did I miss 50 Foot Queenie? I know I
Yeah.
didn't get up from the seat. He's like, she didn't play it tonight.
Oh.
I'm like, no shit. He's like, no, she played it last night and so and so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, so you've seen her a few times? He's like, yeah, I'm actually from Leeds, UK.
No shit.
He goes, tonight was the 57th time I've seen her.
Jesus.
a lot of PJ Harvey.
I'm like, no shit. I go, you must be a huge fan. He's
Yeah.
like, actually, not really.
What?
I'm like, really? He's like, but every time I come, it's an absolute performance.
Okay.
And it's like I've never seen her before.
Amazing.
He goes, so I love seeing her live.
That's
He
really cool.
And actually, I flew over from the UK, and I've seen her yesterday in Boston and here. And like he was going to like 11 or 12 different cities, just
Jesus.
following around in the US,
Wow.
and sightseeing and taking
Yeah,
in
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
you know. And I'm like, that's awesome. So me and him are just talking. By the time we were done, people are like, hey guys, you need to get going now. And I look around, the entire Masonic Cathedral theater's empty. There's 2 people and it's me and him. It's like 45 minutes later.
That's awesome.
The PM Dawn walks on the stage.
Exactly. And, but it was funny because now we've stayed in kind of contact ever since, you know, and like.
Is he a Leeds United fan? Or does he not watch football?
I'm going to have. No. He's a total fan, but I have to go back and see who he supports.
Okay.
Because I want to say it's not Leeds because he came from somewhere before that.
Got it.
But I'll look it up. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I actually have DM back and forth. I mentioned Jack Bates from the Pumpkins.
Yeah.
He's a Man United fan.
He's a Man United fan. Yeah, that's too bad.
He's from Manchester.
Okay, that
so.
makes sense.
It makes sense because with his age, you would be a United fan over City.
'cause they were
at this
good.
point, right? Because they were good. And now everyone hates City.
Yes.
Because they're, fuck you.
Right.
So, Forever 5.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into that, what keeps you going back to shows? What's some of the best shows you've ever seen? Just some of that stuff.
Sure.
We got no format here.
No, it's
yeah.
great. No,
Puke
you
out the
totally have a
mouth.
format. You have an agenda, dude. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's more than most, I would say.
That I couldn't print out, so we're looking at blank papers right now, everyone. But hey, we try.
Ridiculous.
I do notice the extreme penmanship over there.
I was a teacher. I had to write on the dry erase board. Yeah.
I was an engineer, so
Yeah,
I used to
there you
have
go.
the drafting class.
There you go.
Exactly. That's why I type and print everything. I can't read my own writing.
Left-handed, smearing shit.
And that's the other
Exactly.
thing I wanted to ask you about. You said you lived in Europe, so
Yeah.
what time frame was that, and what was music like when you were over there?
It was the early 2010s.
Okay.
So it's they get it so much better over there. They do, because like at least if you're a rock metal fan like I am, Metallica is famous for when they will only do stadium shows here for the most part, and you're going to get the Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, but they do arena tours. And they know that the crowd expects deep cuts.
Right.
Because it's a more passionate crowd. They go to more shows. So they just get much better set lists over there. Other stuff, it's kind of the same. But I think that's the big difference is the way Europe the European countries treat rock and metal, it's always been relevant.
Yeah,
Like here, it peaks and valleys.
Especially like the Scandinavian countries,
Exactly.
like their like metal shows.
And the Germans are fucking crazy.
The Germans, too. Yeah.
They always have the big festivals.
Do you think that had something to do with the American influence around there with like the military?
It's got 100%.
It's gotta be, right?
100%.
Gotta be.
But no, and actually, so that's when we talk about most memorable show. So I went to it was called Sonosphere. They don't do it anymore, but in the early 2010s,
I remember the name Sonosphere.
right. So the big gimmick was it was the big four playing together of thrash. So it was Metallica, Anthrax, Megadeth, and Slayer.
Okay.
And I went, mostly because it's Metallica. Of course, Metallica headlines. Like, not kidding anyone. We know who. But
Right.
The biggest of the four.
right.
Yeah.
So I went to.
They may not have the most passionate fans.
No, but they have the most.
They have the most.
By far. Yeah.
I've seen some Megadeth and Slayer people. They're pretty fucking passionate.
They're intense. Yeah.
But we and I was a big Anthrax fan in like junior high school,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's kind of a win all the way around.
Yeah.
And Alice in Chains was opening, but it was like it's with the new singer, of course, but
Right.
like who's amazingly
Yes, he is.
talented.
Yes.
And everyone says, "Oh, he just sounds like Lane Staley," but
No.
And you know what? And I've said this from day one, but it was actually like their manager or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, a lot of it sounds the same, but that's because Lane Staley was singing with Jerry Cantrell, so
Sure.
someone else is singing with him.
Yeah.
And he does his
They're
tones
still gonna
and
do the
stuff
two-part
sound a little
harmonies.
same,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know what? That tone and all that should be the same in
No,
those
I-
songs. If you're going to play a Lane
Right.
Staley song, it should sound like
Right.
that. I'm sorry, it
Right.
should.
Right.
No, he-
And if you're going to be pissed off about all that, then you shouldn't have had them
No, because
Yeah.
if you
called
pick,
Alice in Chains anymore.
Right. If you
That's
pick
a
a
whole
guy-
different discussion.
if you pick a guy that sounds too different, it ruins all the songs.
It does.
Correct.
Yeah.
You can't play those.
No.
anymore.
Yeah. Right.
But no, they were opening, so that was another bonus.
That's
but-
awesome.
So it was. I went with a buddy of mine who came over to Europe to visit. I was over there at the time, and then we knew it was in Prague, and that's all we did. So we bought tickets for Sonosphere 2010 Prague. After like a day or two, we realized it's nowhere near Prague, the show. So we like, how are we? And there's no mass transit to this place. So it turns out it was a retired airfield from like when the Czech Republic had, I don't know, fucking Air Force. I don't know.
Oh, it was the old communist day.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
but
sure.
it's like,
all
but
Russian
it's
shit.
Russian shit.
It's
Yeah.
an airstrip,
Right.
and we're like, how the fuck are we going to get there? So on day 2, we met these 2 random chicks from Germany, and they had a rental car. So we said something like, we'll pay for all the beer and food if you drive us out there. Like, deal. So we get this rental.
They can't drink much. They're women. But they're from Germany.
Exactly. But we get this rental car. We're driving. It's like going to Pine Knob, but not taking 75. You know, if you take like Clarkston Road and
I did it from here.
yeah. And we're in, and I'm looking at him like, dude, we have a lot of trust in these people right now. Like, we don't know where the fuck we are. We're in the Czech Republic. But anyway, we get there.
You ever seen
and-
Hostel?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we get there, and it's like there's no signs, there's no ads. It's just like a gate and a dude with a flag saying go over there, and then there's a fucking 2-mile long airstrip and a stage at the end of it. We're like, okay, I guess we're walking that way. And that was when I started realizing the value of VIP tickets. Like,
Right.
not to be a snob, but like the VIP, like there was a whole separate area with a separate bar and your own bathrooms.
Right.
And it was just chaos outside the VIP area. But it allowed us to like get more beers and not miss a song. Whereas otherwise, like, you're missing 3 songs when you go do anything.
Yeah. Sure.
That happened to me at. Have you ever been to the Urethra Franklin?
No.
In Detroit?
Did you say you were? No, it used to be called something
Shane
else.
Park.
Shane Park.
Yes.
Yeah, we have been. Yeah.
Dude, I went and saw King Gizzard there.
Okay.
And it was the same. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go grab a quick beer. 35 minutes
That
later,
sucks.
and I
Yeah.
like missed like 4 fucking songs. And like for me, I'm like, I've only heard of them, never seen
Sure,
them. I
sure.
wanted to go to a show. It was actually an acoustic one. Which
Oh,
was
yeah,
rare
yeah.
for them.
Okay.
But I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I have all the diehards are involved,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
all pissed off, you know,
bet.
because, oh my god, I'm missing this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I go look at their set list, and they play like 12 songs, but it lasted like 3 hours.
All right.
Same with Goose. I don't know if you know.
Yeah. Another jam band.
Yeah. Everyone was like, oh, you got to listen to them. So I went and saw them in Grand Rapids, and they were really good.
Oh, nice.
Jam bands are jam bands.
They are. Yeah. Yeah. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I don't know if I'm a huge fan of them. There's some I do like. But
Okay.
I was like, you know what? These guys are good. It was like
Cool.
kind of like that mellow. The
Yeah.
one thing I do like is always the crowd at those.
Oh,
you know, because
it's
it's always
crazy.
a
No,
laid
people
back
watching is a
and
big part of shows.
There's people watching.
White people dancing.
And you're not like
Yeah.
so. worried about the music because they go off and play 20 minutes and you're like just kind of all right, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No,
But so what are some of you guys' other favorite shows you've ever seen?
Yeah.
So maybe even some of the best songs you've ever seen in a live show.
The best songs. That's challenging. One of the best shows I saw, I always come back to, is that Lollapalooza tour. George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic did a post, like that night, I think, did a show.
Oh, did they really?
And we went to Industry in Pontiac.
Industry, I forgot. Okay.
Yep.
So what is Industry called now?
It
Do you know?
became Tonic. I think it
that's
became
Tonic.
Tonic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if it's probably not still Tonic.
Right, but-
Yeah. But they played a post Lollapalooza show, and it was, speaking of jam bands, funk but jam, because their songs, again, they might have played 3 songs, but each song was 30 fucking minutes long.
Yeah, they're taking all over the place.
Exactly right. And you're watching masters of their craft. These dudes that have 50, at that point 30, 40 years of experience just taking songs. It's fucking Bootsy Collins and George Clinton. I mean, it's and they're right there. But I just remember being kind of interested in them, and then after that I'm like, these guys fucking rule. They rule.
When you walk out of
tons
a show,
of respect.
I'm a bigger fan now than when I walked in.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot to me, but shit, what was the other? I just said that the other day about a band. I remember walking in and, because I hate to say it, I go to 4 or 5 a month.
That's all. Don't hate to say it. That's cool.
No, what I hate to say is there's sometimes where it's like, fuck, I don't really feel like going.
Sure.
But then once you start going and, you start building up that whatever, but I don't even know where I was going with that.
No, but that's how we were with Tiger season tickets, oddly enough.
Was it Helmet?
No, I will say with fucking Helmet, though, those guys.
Killed it.
They killed it, but they're the first ones. Like, every video I post on Instagram, they've been collaborating on.
Oh,
so
no shit.
I invite them to collaborate.
Awesome.
So I went from where I would get 30 likes, where every single thing they've clapped, it's over 300. And every single one's at least 5,000 to almost 10,000 views.
That's awesome.
Got to start collaborating with Helmet.
Well, or bands of that.
That's the thing. That's what I always do. I'll tag them, and then it always says invite to collaborate. So I pick that shit because who knows?
I need to do that.
And lately, though, I got Cracker did it, and then Helmet did, and a few others. Venues started doing it.
Yeah.
Like the Intersection.
Oh, cool.
in
That's a
Grand
great
Rapids.
idea.
So when I went and saw Big Head Todd, the Intersection collaborated. So those are getting 1,200 views, where I might get 250 to 3. So that's where I really started. And now I go to these venues, and it's I start knowing all the goddamn people that work there. And you
That's
realize
awesome.
they all work at the same damn venues. So you can
they
go to
do.
different shows, different nights, and you're seeing the same people.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun.
Nice.
No, that's what I told him. I was a big Anthrax fan back in the day, and I still follow them. They still put out good music, actually. But I'm like, why don't we just try to contact Anthrax? What is Joey Belladonna doing? Honestly, it's I think there's a lot of bands that we assume they wouldn't talk to, but it's they're people, and they, and they're not touring. It's fuck it, yeah, I'll talk about it.
And they like to talk about music. They're probably at a stage in their career, right, where they have normal lives, right? They have day jobs, maybe even, right? They don't get a chance to talk about music a whole lot.
Right. Yeah. That's actually the one I contact all the time is Michael Glabicki from Rusted Root.
Oh, nice.
They're one of my favorite bands.
I've seen them a few times. They
I
were
never
great.
get any sort of
No,
response back.
no, that's funny.
But I thought of them. I wrote them down because you talked about the show you went to where there was 5 people, no market.
Yeah.
And I remember I was following them, and they were playing out in San Diego or something.
Okay.
And all of a sudden they sent out a message, and they're like, "Hey, everyone forgot to promote this show tonight, so no one's here.
Oh no!
Well, come on down because we're going to be rocking for the next 3 hours and blah blah blah." And they ended up playing this killer set. And
nice.
People all ended up kind of converging all the time, which was cool. But
that's crazy.
And then it's I always thought they were bigger in the '90s.
Sure.
But then it's were they? Or is that just my little bubble where I thought they were bigger than they were?
I think that college bubble made it seem like
college
But you
thing,
could sell
that's
a
for
million records pretty. I mean, a lot of those bands sold. Verve Pipe sold a million
and
records.
Lived off of Send Me On My Way in commercials now. It's 5 or 6, 7 commercials.
Yes.
Every fucking rental car commercial.
Yes, the Enterprise.
You mentioned Verve Pipe.
And then Ice Age.
Blind Melon probably sold a million.
Yep.
Absolutely they did.
Small little bands
Yeah.
that were Marcy Playground?
Marcy Playground. Oh, God, there's dozens of those. Speedball and all those fucking bands. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Forever Fives, what you guys got?
Yeah.
So I took it literally. So my understanding, just make sure that I understood it right.
Well, I can.
It's bands whose catalog you would take to a deserted island. So
You're on that deserted island.
All right.
5 bands or artists.
Okay.
I always say entire catalog based on like a Spotify catalog
okay.
because it's much broader.
So that it can include live sets and
Absolutely.
B-sides and all that
Search
shit.
that name in Spotify, anything in that.
You're on a
list is-
deserted island. You need a lot.
That's fair.
I always tell you in mind.
Not bringing physical media. Yeah.
Right. So but I took it literally because of that. So it's
Yeah.
not my 5 favorite bands necessarily.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, smart.
Because you got to mix it up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I might be
You
a
have
metal
to
guy,
mix
but
it, right. You have
but
to
I
mix
don't-
it up.
if I get
You want
5
to
metal
do
bands-
catalog, right?
Yeah.
You want to differentiate your fucking days.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So
For me, it was Smashing Pumpkins.
okay.
Ben Harper.
Okay.
Wilco.
Nice.
I picked Lou Reed
Okay.
Interesting.
because search Lou Reed on Spotify. You know how many Velvet Underground songs you're gonna get?
Yeah.
Sure.
So you play the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I picked CSNY.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, for the same reason. You picked them. You know how many?
Any one of the...
Any Neil Young.
You get all
song.
Neil Young's catalog? Wow.
As long
You're
as
really gaming your own system
As long
here.
as it shows up
Totally
when you
cheated.
You get to change the rules.
as long as it shows up when you search CSNY in Spotify.
Okay.
You can't just say, "Oh, I can go pick any Neil Young."
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
you got to search CSNY, and if it happens to be a
I
Neil
see.
Young song they play,
I see.
you get to have it.
Got it.
So there's a cell signal on this deserted island. That's the
Absolutely.
one benefit.
You got Wi-Fi.
You can't get off the damn thing, but yeah, we got everything you never want. There's beer too.
That changes everything.
Yeah. No, so I took that into account of like, okay, I need variety and I need catalog depth, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
So number 1, Metallica. That's obvious. I'm not going anywhere without that. Number 2, Run the Jewels, because I need some hip hop, and it's actually not much of
And
a.
they're coming with Wu-Tang.
We're going.
Yes.
Are you guys
Yeah.
going?
Yeah, we're going.
I haven't got tickets yet.
Yeah.
I'm going for
Yeah.
sure, but I just haven't got
Yeah,
tickets.
no, I mean it's only 4 albums. I mean I got the shirt on now, but to me it's like the peak of post 2000 hip hop. So
Nice.
I gotta have it.
Yeah.
You know what? No fucking idea about those guys.
Oh, check them out,
like,
dude.
no, I don't
You'll
either.
love it. If you
Yeah.
liked 90s, 80s hip hop,
Yeah,
with
we'll
the modern
put
sensibility.
together like a 5-song playlist and send it to you just
Alright.
to know where to
Awesome.
start.
Yeah.
Great,
Dude,
great.
One, 80s hip hop, that's my sweet.
Yeah.
You'll totally
Eric
fall. You'll
B,
dig it.
EPMD,
Yeah. Public
Too
Enemy,
Short,
yeah.
Public Enemy,
Yeah.
all that shit.
No, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So they're number 2.
That makes that show even better then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why
Because that's
I'm
what
going,
Cedric
honestly.
said. He's like, holy shit, with Run the Jewels open
Yeah.
and you can't beat this
No.
shit. And I'm
So
like, who
the
the
thing
fuck's
is-
Run the Jewels? But I wouldn't tell him that. Like,
No, I mean I'm
oh yeah, that's awesome.
I'm looking forward to RTJ a lot more. 'cause-
Googling.
yeah. No, but like Wu-Tang, like I love the music, but I don't have high hopes for the live show. It's going to be 30 guys on stage talking over each other.
Yeah,
you know.
I've
kinda-
seen some
kinda-
live
Yeah.
Wu-Tang and consider
Kind of
this
not
not
the
great.
same.
Yeah.
Whereas
Not live, but on YouTube.
Right.
And you don't have ODB anymore. I'm sorry, but he was like a huge part
Huge
of that.
presence, too, right.
Absolutely.
No, like RTJ, it's very lean. It's like it's 2 guys that were up there to MC. There's no
All right,
bullshit.
nice. Nice.
So they're number 2. Number 3, Tori Amos, which
Oh, I love it.
I've had a lifelong crush on her. Well, it's her catalog, and I've talked about this on
Yeah.
our show.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
Go with
steady decline. Like for the first 4 or 5 albums, amazing, and that's why I want it. The last 5, you can keep it. Like they've been ass. But I can't. I mean, you know, I still love her. I forget sometimes. Like I won't listen for a year or 2, and I go back. I'm like, God damn, this is good music.
So good,
It's just it fell off so much after
Isn't
the
that
late
fun
90s.
when you do that?
Oh,
like,
oh,
somebody
absolutely.
totally forgot
It's like
about it. You go back
rediscovering
and,
it.
Holy shit, these
Yeah.
guys were amazing.
Right.
Now I listen to it on the way back. And
Nice.
pop that in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tori for that variety, and then number 4 will be Radiohead,
Nice. They're coming.
which for me,
Which they haven't announced
Hopefully,
yet.
they've set up like a LLC or whatever.
Oh, really?
it is. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that's the last time they did that. They made a new
It
album.
was like a new album,
Yeah.
new tour. Yeah.
yeah,
God.
I was completely ignorant, other than knowing that everyone liked them. Like 2 years ago, nothing.
Same
but
thing
you
here.
know, the
Pretty
podcast
much.
made me get into
Super
it,
into
and
it.
it's like now I got to have that.
I've always been a passive listener of Radiohead.
Right.
Like,
Same here.
usually everyone's always
Yeah.
like gung ho Radiohead.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But they're fucking good.
They are damn good.
No, it's just
And
different.
if they come in concert, I will go in a second because it's someone I've never seen
Yeah,
before.
I saw them last
and it's
time.
someone, you know, they're kind of like that eclectic, you know, Tom York especially,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So you never know if they're going to come again, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Right.
No, yeah, a lot of our bands that we like at our age, you never know. Like
That's exactly
I
right.
told the Metallica show, it's like they're 61. There's no guarantee there's
Right.
another tour.
Well, I mean,
No.
after the Soundgarden show in Detroit,
But I
if
think
that
they'll
doesn't open your eyes,
Right, no shit.
Because that was the one where I was like, you know, I'll catch them next time. And I had only seen them at Lollapalooza '92.
Okay.
which I vaguely saw.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
As a 17-year-old,
Yeah, you were physically there.
Yes, I was physically there. I remember at least hearing a note.
Yeah, sure.
But no, I'm like, I'll catch him next time. And he actually literally dies in fucking Detroit. And it's like, holy shit, you know.
Last song he played was "In My Time of Dying" too.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
No
So
shit.
he knew what he was doing.
That's a Zeppelin song.
Yeah. But so number 5, it's a band, electronic duo called 07.
Okay.
And they're not in my top 5 bands, but I'm like, I gotta chill the fuck out at some point. Right? So it's
I
like
it.
I love. They're just like kind of mellow, like chilled out electronic, but really good. And they have a great catalog.
I've never been an electronic music fan at all.
I'm not.
But
No, neither am I.
when I went to Lollapalooza last year, Perry's stage turned into Sonny's stage, which is Zed. His real name's Sonny. Or
Oh, yeah.
on the Saturday, so like I saw him and like a couple other like big. I'm like, all right, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like, I can see why people go to a DJ show
Sure.
and just have a great fucking time.
Yeah.
It's not my thing, but I get it.
Yeah.
You know,
This is
it was
the-
cool though.
yeah,
'cause
this
I've never
is-
seen it before.
Yeah, 07 lower beats per minute, right? It's very chill hop.
It's,
They would
you
put it
like
in.
turn the lights down, just fucking chill out. Like
I
it's
gotcha.
low key.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what I use to like when I fly. I take a lot of long flights, and like that's when I put in the headphones and just chill the fuck out.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
what about you, E?
Yeah.
Forever 5. Okay, Tank's heard all this before. We maybe even have had this. Have we had this discussion?
I don't think so.
No.
Not of this kind of.
No. Okay.
Not these parameters.
Yeah.
Got these.
Sort of
We have
island with
rules
Wi-Fi. We're not animals.
No.
I'm not an animal. Alpha man.
The Smiths are number 1
Oh,
for me.
love it.
Yeah. So
love the
name my.
Neil's a huge Smiths
Yeah.
guy.
Alex Smith
Yeah.
and Morris.
Did you go see Morrissey when he was in Flint?
No, I saw him. I haven't seen him in years.
Okay.
I saw him in Chicago at the
He played
Metro.
in Flint, at, like the Capitol
never seen
Theater,
that.
which
That's
I've
weird.
never heard of it.
Yeah.
Like in November.
Okay.
And I remember I was talking to him. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go see Morrissey. I'm like, oh man, that's a crap fucking shoot, isn't it?
Yeah. Right.
And then I'm talking to him after, like, surprising. It ended up turning out pretty
Pretty great
good,
show.
you know.
Yeah. Named my daughter Morrissey. Like that's
Oh, did you?
that's her name. So
The only naming responsibility I had was middle name for my middle daughter,
Okay.
and I gave her Jane because I love Sweet Jane by Lou Reed,
nice.
and Jane Says by Jane's Addiction.
awesome. Yeah.
And not that I'm comparing, but every dog I've ever had, we used to name them after songs. Like my
Oh, cool.
brother had a golden retriever named Chloe from Chloe Dancer.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Mud Honey.
Mother
Or not
Love,
Mud Honey,
Mother Love Bone. Yeah.
He had Luca. You know.
Nice.
So I got a golden retriever when I bought my own house. And I'm not a huge Bob Dylan fan.
Okay.
But I love the album Desire.
Okay.
Because that's the one that has Hurricane.
Okay.
So I bought it for that.
Sure.
And then, of course, but back in the day, I'm like, all right, well, if I'm putting it in, I'm listening to the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm like, oh, man, I love this fucking song that I hear.
Okay.
And it's the Egyptian goddess of the earth. And
Okay.
I'm getting a golden retriever. She's
Golden.
a female.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm female dogs. I'll never get
Okay.
a male dog. I don't need the fucking red rocket on them.
Okay.
And then you fix them and they know their balls are missing.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Something happened. I'm not dumb. You're responsible. You took me somewhere and now something happened.
Right.
So I named her, guess what? ISIS.
Okay, so I don't feel bad.
The first song, I married ISIS the 5th day of May, and it's like a 7-minute song. It's
Yeah.
just like this whole like poetry.
Yeah, you
It's
can't
like,
go to
it's
the dog
all-
park, can you?
Yeah, well, no, so I'll never forget. I got her February of, well, it would have been, so I always remember 9/11 happened, and then I got my house in December. So it was
Okay.
3 months after that. I got her in February, so what, of 2002. So that name still wasn't even known yet,
Still
because
not.
that hadn't happened
Right.
with all of that stuff.
Right.
So she ends up living 12 years. Worst thing ever as any animal owner, but a dog owner to me specifically,
Yeah.
is that contract you have with that animal that at some point I got to set myself aside and put
Yeah.
you down
Sure.
because it's right for you.
Sure.
So that point in time, it's coming.
Yeah.
So my kids are little. So what do? Make a sign, because I'm crying at this point, that says, "We love ISIS." And
Incredible. Did you sell them out? Put them all over social media?
I'm laughing so hard because we didn't even put it on the fridge. We hung it in our bedroom. So no one would even see it on the
You
fridge.
had to save that for the wedding.
Yeah. You'd be like, next time you fuckers act up, you posted this on social media and you're
No,
gone.
like, we could put this out there, but you know what? We'd have knocks at our door like 5 minutes
Immediately.
later.
Yeah. Incredible. Okay, so I don't feel so bad. Now, Morrissey's kind of a fascist asshole now, so I don't feel like you take the cake. Still
better than ISIS.
Yeah, it's better than ISIS. I
don't even mention her name anymore. It's like I feel so bad for the poor
The dog who
She's
should
the
not
best
be
dog
named.
ever, you know. So bad.
Yeah.
All right, so Morrissey.
So we got the Smiths,
yeah.
the Smiths, yeah, and I have Radiohead as well. Yeah, huge Radiohead fan.
I was wondering if you had a crossover. Or that was
Huge Radiohead fan, yeah.
Nice.
Not so much the side projects, but yeah. I really hope
Like
there's
Kid.
more work coming out.
We have a buddy of ours that
Yeah.
was like just.
It's headphone music.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
rewarding after multiple listens, right? You can get deeper and deeper. That's why people are so into them. That's why, because you can just get lost in it.
That's the key there too. Is you can't just give it one listen, people.
No.
You're on a deserted island.
Give it a fucking chance,
Yeah.
bros.
Right.
I mean, listen to it at least 3,
Yes.
4, 5 times.
It'll hit you.
And
Yes.
that's why music back in our day, I think, was different.
'Cause
You
you
would
had
put the
to.
CD
You had to.
in, you
You
had to. And like the rule in my car, if we were going on I put in the CD, we listen to the whole fucking
Yeah.
thing. All right, shotgun, you're next.
Yeah.
Person behind me, you're next. You know, and
Yeah.
you listen to the whole fucking thing.
You only had so much money. You could only buy so many
That was
CDs,
the
tapes,
thing.
records, whatever.
And that's why
But-
they would come out with those like alternative compilation CDs.
Yeah.
So you
like,
could at least
that's what
get
I call
exposed-
music. It's
Yeah,
like a
right.
cheat code. Like,
Right.
it really was.
Right. The Sweet Relief, the No Alternative,
Yeah, yeah,
and all
yeah, yeah.
those.
Yeah, those
because
were great.
they have those, but it at least exposed you to more.
Absolutely.
That's where No Alternative. That's where I found Uncle Tupelo.
Oh, nice.
And because they had a song called Effigy, and it
Okay.
was like
Yeah,
super
yeah.
slow, but it was like super good.
Like, I dig this, and then it's...
And then my brother had the subscription to Rolling Stone.
Okay.
So that's where I would find out about, this band or that. And
Okay.
then, but then you found out, Uncle Tupelo broke up and made Wilco and this. And then
yeah.
and then you got the Metro Times to see what concerts were coming. Cause
Sure, right.
Either you heard it on the radio and you're lucky, if you're on the right station.
Yeah.
It was Metro Times. That was my
Absolutely. Yeah, we used to do that all the time.
All the
You
time.
pour through the Metro Times. That's crazy.
And most of them were concerts you would never go to that you wanted to, but you didn't have fucking money. And you're
Yeah.
oh my God, look at this one!
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. Okay, so Smiths, Radiohead, Fish.
I like
I'm a jam band guy. Like, I'm not a jam band guy. I'm a Fish sort of exclusively. And it's got a huge catalog. You've got these long.
Yeah.
You've also got varied as far as tempo goes. You got chill out stuff, and you got more rock.
So do you listen to Oysterhead too? Like one?
I only listen to Fish. It does
Seriously?
not. I didn't go back and listen to
Fish.
Grateful Dead. I didn't go forward and listen to fucking String Cheese Incident
Nice.
or whoever.
Right.
Yeah, that's not String Cheese.
Yeah, it's String Cheese and
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. And then you have Mo and you
Mo
have
and right, yeah,
Widespread Panic
all that stuff.
and, like-
Never. It's just been this lane.
See, I was never a huge jam band guy, but I have always liked Fish.
Yeah.
And I've seen them one time.
Yeah, I have too. Just
I
once.
went by myself to
I saw 'em
Cincinnati
once,
because I
too.
was traveling for work down there at the time, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But I am going to Bourbon and Beyond. They're one of the headliners.
Oh, nice.
And I think the Friday night, I think it is.
Okay.
So I'm going to definitely, no matter what,
Oh, you got to see
definitely
that.
going to
Yeah.
see Fish.
Yeah. Again, because they won't be around forever.
Right.
You got to go do that shit.
And I think Trey's clean and everything, so the
Yes.
shows are like fucking awesome
yeah,
again.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other one I had RTJ. Since you put it on, I did a slash because I'm like, I wanted some hip hop on the deserted island, but I'm gonna do something super mellow and go with Elliott Smith.
Okay.
So I just bought. I'm a vinyl guy. I've started becoming a vinyl guy. So
Okay.
I'm starting to collect stuff that I had CDs of or I had tapes of, and I've now got Elliott Smith's entire catalog just because it brings everything way down.
Okay.
Beautiful singer-songwriter
What,
stuff.
I hate that. Your guys' ages. I never even asked that. Sorry.
48.
49.
Okay.
Yeah.
50 and what? 47?
I'll be 48 this year.
48.
Yeah.
47 right now.
So we're all right in that.
Yeah, right around the same
spot.
age. Yeah. So yeah, that would bring everything down and help me sleep at night. I think it'd be something.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that you actually took that shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Some people
Yeah.
know this name off. This is Nirvana, Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're going 100 miles an hour every single day.
Yeah.
Got to turn it down at some point.
Yeah.
Right.
And then speaking of my last choice, this was very difficult because I was going to pick something jazz because I'm super into jazz.
Okay.
I picked Bill Evans, and Bill Evans, piano player. He's got a huge, if you're including live, You've got all these jazz giants. They have literally hundreds of shows that have been recorded, which are just as good as the albums because all the albums were recorded live too. It was all one take. And they got that shit on record. It's improvisational. It goes in all these different directions. Plus, you have all the great songbook. You have all the standards that all these jazz guys did, right? Like a fucking Autumn in New York and whatever. Like, they can't take that away from me and all that
funny
shit.
You say that because, like, even like in rock, like in the early '60s and that, someone would release a song, and then like 3 or 4 people would release that same song as a cover.
Yeah.
And you would have like different versions of the same song. Yeah, it's fucking top 10 and shit. And it would be like 63.
Right. Like any song in the 60s, you find out Neil Diamond wrote it. It's like there's always this trail of like, oh, well, I guess it wasn't theirs.
Yeah, so that's it. So Fish, the Smiths, Radiohead, Fish.
You guys got some
Elliott Smith.
I love it.
Because you took the time to actually figure out if I'm going to be here forever, I better fucking make it worthwhile.
Exactly.
I'm not crazy that there's no women or non-white people on the list, but I went with my gut and I didn't check it afterwards.
That's okay.
That's
okay.
As long as the music was variation, the women thing, I'm like, it's a miss because you don't have that perspective. And if I'm by myself, I'm probably thinking about women a decent amount, right? And to not have that perspective, so Tori Amos. That's why I like Tori Amos.
I don't have it in mind either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
well, if we're on the same island, I can.
Someone told me like, you know what? It should only be 3 because 5's too easy. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about?
If you're into music, 5 is hard,
right?
Yeah. It should be.
Well, that was the thing is one of our guests from last season. He came with his Forever 5, and then what he called his second lineup.
Yeah.
Oh, so basically, his top 10. I'm like,
yeah.
That's a good idea because, like, for me, I mean, I know the two, the first ones out were easily The Doors and Beastie Boys.
Okay.
Like, because when you look at mine, I'm like, I don't have anything that's even transcending close to like rap.
Sure.
And then I'm like, fuck. I loved like the 80s, early 90s rap. I could pretty much do without the shit most days nowadays.
Yeah.
I did see Tyler, the Creator, a few years back, and he was great live.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm going to go see him again in July.
Okay.
And we'll see. But that's the one genre I haven't seen a ton live.
Yeah.
I did see Diggable Planets.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
my God, they were awesome.
Nice.
It's a genre that doesn't really translate well live, though.
Not all the time.
No.
Not all the time.
No, some types of music just don't.
Tyler, the Creator, did, and part of it, I think, was because he was literally the only dude on stage.
Exactly.
That helps.
So they had like the music coming from the background and all that.
But he does a whole...
it was a whole thing. Yeah. Stage 1, he would get on this hydraulic boat to take him on the stage 2.
Right.
But I actually got, for a good price, the tickets right on the boards of the hockey arena,
cool.
where the second stage is.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, you know what? You can still see good in the main, but once they're there,
that'll be awesome.
Nice.
Because we saw, remember Jane's Addiction? And at the Palace.
Oh, cool.
So we were main floor, but then they went for like 4 or 5 songs to this little stage right on the middle of the main floor. So it was like for me to tank watching Jane Says and like 3 or 4 other songs.
That's awesome. That's great.
Cool.
And like those are the types of shows where it could be the worst fucking thing ever, but these last 3 or 4 songs just made it.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah. You only need one, really.
Do you guys got any shows coming up that you're going to? Any tickets this year yet?
We do.
What you got going?
So we got Bob Mould is soon.
L Club.
At L Club.
Yeah.
Yes. I keep having my eye on that. And he's also playing Bell's Brewery.
Oh, no shit. I didn't know that.
Garden
arena
or whatever.
Kazoo? Okay. Yeah, I saw him do a similar in Chicago at a tiny place like El Club where he had just come out with his autobiography, his memoir. And so he'd play a song, talk about the time in his life that song came out, and then play the next song. And he did that.
Oh, cool.
It's me and 300 people. And this guy's a fucking living legend. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it was incredible. So
yeah, he was around before we were ever really buying music.
Absolutely.
Shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go see them at the end of this month.
Yep.
And then Wu-Tang
RTJ.
Yeah.
I have to imagine Isbell's going to be touring. Jason Isbell.
I wrote it down.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
A huge fan.
He's one I've never really listened to much, but he's like, you know what? I have no idea. I equate him with Noah Kahan, where it's that person where everyone loves him, and I don't know shit about him.
Yeah.
And that's where I draw the
It's hard.
parallel. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, like they could be totally different. I have no idea.
Singer-songwriter, country tinged, right? That's fair.
Yeah,
I like a singer. I do like a singer song.
He's if anyone's a modern day Dylan, it's him.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're into Dylan, you'll love it.
Start with there's an album Southeastern. It's like 10 years old.
Okay.
Just give that a listen. If you don't like that, you won't like it.
What if I were to mention the name Neil Young? Is it any sort of like that type, or obviously Dylan? And I mean, they were called.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, from a progressive social mindset, yes.
Okay,
that's true.
But he's more traditional country,
a little slower.
Yes, but he's just the lyrics are just so fucking good.
Yeah,
and not in an overbearing artsy kind of way. It's just salt of the earth, but good guitar player, great lyricist, amazing lyrics.
I saw Billy Bragg at the Majestic.
Oh, nice.
Which I love Billy Bragg.
Yeah.
But in between songs, he would get pretty.
Well, yeah, that's his whole thing.
But that's his whole thing. I'm like, but if you don't want to hear that, then don't go.
You shouldn't go to a Billy Bragg show.
Right, exactly. You know what you're getting into.
Yes,
you know?
That's very true.
And for me, like, I don't bring any of that shit into music because it doesn't belong there.
Sure.
If the artist chooses to bring it, that's fine. But that doesn't mean I have to engage in that part of it. You know what I need to engage in? That your music's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I don't care about your views.
Yeah.
I don't care about mine. All that shit should be checked at the door.
Sure.
Especially these days.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you choose to talk about it, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm still going to go enjoy the show.
Yeah. Right. That's a good attitude.
You know, and
and
what you find out is
not going
sometimes
to hate that guy or girl because of it.
Right. 100%. And it's like, what you find out too is a lot of times you're a lot more alike in your views and shit than you aren't.
Right.
You have one huge thing in common, which is the fucking music.
Right. And that's all that matters.
Yes.
And that trumps, no pun intended, that trumps tons of shit.
Right. And no matter what, that should check that shit at the door.
Yeah.
So at least for these next few hours, everyone's here for the same reason.
That's the right attitude. Yeah.
And that's the way I've always looked at it.
Yeah. No, that's one of my favorite part. These Metallica stadium shows. James does a bit where he's like, because I'm pretty sure that band, James, I'm pretty sure is right wing. Mm-hmm. Kirk is left wing.
Right.
Lars, who fucking knows? But like,
he's Danish.
Exactly.
No way.
But he comes out.
Whatever he needs to sell albums is what
exactly. No, but they come out and he's like, look. It sounds corny, but it's true. It's like we're the Metallica family in here. Like in here, none of that shit matters. He makes a point to say it.
It sounds corny.
But it's true. It's like
I don't think it's corny at all.
For the next 2 hours,
true.
For the next 2 hours, people who would normally never talk to each other,
you're here loving it.
Right, it's like you are next to a guy you might hate in an online forum,
right?
Yeah,
but you're rocking the fuck out to Creeping Death, and that's all that matters.
He even might be the fucking high five guy, which I'm not a huge fan of either. But I will always give him a high five. I'm not going to leave him hanging.
You're not at music shows, but at a sporting event, I'm a high five.
I'm not going to leave you hanging no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm always been the same way. Like. Check everything in life at the door when you go to a show because it is such an experience. The experience with others, and especially now because I go alone to like 95% of this. And which I like because I like to enjoy a show a certain way.
Sure.
And if I'm going to go with people, like it's Neil.
Yeah.
He knows how I enjoy it, and he enjoys it pretty much a similar way.
Yeah.
But we aren't going to talk for 2 hours, except it might be in between songs. Like, oh my god, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
but we're starting, and now we're focused again. You know?
Mine is always, this fucking band's so fucking good. That's so good. This fucking band is so good. What the fuck? How are they not?
But it's a release. The whole point of a show is a release.
Absolutely.
So you do have to release everything, right? Inhibitions, whatever you brought to the door.
Bowels,
potentially.
Strongly encouraged, actually, because that's the last thing you want to have
beforehand. Yes. Yeah. Check your bowels at the door. Yes. That's what
especially at a fucking festival.
Yes. Right. Bumper sticker. Check your fucking bowels.
I will say though, Lollapalooza, like the festival with bathrooms, food, everything you need to live, was top notch.
Oh, nice.
They actually did it very well. In fact, I was so impressed. I'm like, I'm going next year.
Okay.
Until I saw Bourbon and Beyond and that lineup.
Nice.
And then the fact that it's in mid-September, a little...
Not the heat of July or whatever.
Yeah. So then, because their headline it's Fish, Noah Kahan, Sturgill Simpson...
Oh, he loves Sturgill Simpson.
Lumineers, and Jack White.
That's a great lineup.
And then it also has, like, Cage the Elephant.
Okay.
There's Old 97s, Blues Traveler, Marcy's Playground. And, like, all these older, like, kind of, like, second tier, I'll say, grunge.
Yeah.
And Foreigners there. I'm like, holy shit. And it's like, by the time you actually figure out who you want to see, I'm like, you can't even fucking
Can't
do
see
it.
them all.
Yeah.
Well, then I saw like the Lollapalooza lineup come out just like a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
I haven't even looked at it yet.
Dude, this is fucking rough.
Is it pop
It's
heavy like it
Yeah.
has been?
I
Yes.
don't even know what it is. I didn't.
It wasn't. It was
really
the
anybody.
headliners on the left side of the page. I'm like, no, thank you.
It's got to be like Tyler probably.
Tyler was because he was supposed to be last year
Right.
and couldn't, so he is this year.
Who is it?
Has-
Like fucking Billie Eilish or
It's not. It's not even
Sabrina
that. It's,
Carpenter?
no, it's Olivia Rodrigo.
Olivia Rodrigo? Yeah, so there you go.
Okay,
And
I
then
would see her. But
Fucking
not at
Chili
Lollapalooza.
Peppers?
Yeah.
No,
No,
not even
somebody
that
like
good,
that.
dude. It's not even that. Actually, like the one band, like I would be like, okay, I would go see them, but I don't like them.
Yeah.
It's Korn.
No
Probably the
shit.
biggest band is Korn.
Okay.
Like as far as
I
like,
would see Korn.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, I would see
Yeah.
it. But that was never kind of like my genre
Yeah.
I liked. But you know what? Like when I went last year, I thought the same thing. But I saw the Killers, I saw Hozier, I saw
Yeah.
Blink 182,
Yeah.
Pierce the Veil,
Okay.
Hippocampus.
Okay.
2-Day Cinema. So there was like these other bands
Yeah.
when you actually dug a little deeper, which a lot of them I didn't even know about until I was going to go.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, I don't know about this lineup. But then
Yeah.
once I actually went, and then you figure out how many you can actually see in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, actually, it worked out awesome.
Becomes a
and
logistic.
actually, Lollapalooza was a great experience.
So we have if you're interested in digging, and for the audience, if you're interested in digging in our back catalog, we did a couple episodes where we take the poster for Lollapalooza or for what's
Oh,
the
nice.
other of Coachella.
Oh, Coachella.
Yeah.
All right.
And so I saw this on a blog one day where it was like you get points if you know the band, and it's increasing amount of points as you go further down
Right.
the list, and the fonts get super small. So you
Right.
basically get negative points if you know who Olivia Rodrigo is,
Right.
but you get 10 if you know who fucking Astronaut is.
Yes.
Right.
So we did it live. We walked through it
That's
and we
awesome.
scored ourselves. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that was the fun, like, because like I said, Blues Travelers, Spin Doctors,
Yeah.
and Gin Blossoms are all above and beyond.
So-
but they're touring as a threesome.
So I just saw that. I wrote down one
Yeah.
of the shows I wanted to go to. I was
It's
going to
at
tell you,
Meadowbrook.
Tank, it's Blues Traveler and Jim Blossom.
Yeah. That's
I would definitely
should
go to
go.
that, especially at Meadowbrook.
Okay.
Because
I've never been,
that's
I've
where it
never
is?
been to Meadowbrook.
So Meadowbrook is like literally just half the size of Pine Knob.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
So,
I've
like-
been once.
Okay.
Yeah, even like the lawn is like, I would equate the lawn to being almost
Like in the
towards,
pavilion at Pine
towards
Knob.
the, yeah, like
Okay.
the 2/3 back of the pavilion.
Nice.
Almost,
Okay.
because of the size of it.
Yeah, we'll go to that.
Yeah, for
Ray
sure.
LaMontagne is playing, Tank.
Yeah, I saw Ray
He's
LaMontagne.
doing a Trouble 20th anniversary,
nice.
so he's going to play the whole
I've
thing.
never seen him, but he's been one of the ones.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him,
Yeah.
especially like if it's in a
He's
theater
good.
type setting.
Yeah. Ben Folds is playing with the DSO.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I saw that. And the one
you
thing
did?
no, I didn't see it. I mean,
Oh,
I
you saw that the
they're
show was
playing.
coming
Yeah,
up.
yeah. And the one thing that I've been seeing, literally, because obviously the last 2 years I try to keep up with more and more, even with like the older stuff that people love that I didn't, which is Ben Folds is one of them.
Yeah, sure.
People fucking love Ben Folds.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen him live?
We've
at
never
all?
seen him
Oh,
live.
yeah, okay.
You love the first,
first two albums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're great.
People love him, and what I've heard is like seeing him live is like just an
He's super
absolute
charismatic. I read
experience.
his memoir. It's super good. I'd highly recommend that.
Yeah. Okay.
Just as a music memoir to
Right.
read. It's really good.
I have a couple. I got Mark Lanigan's.
Oh, no, I want to read
memoir.
that. Yeah. He's got a couple,
And-
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one it is. And then actually, I got one. It's the drummer from Screaming Trees.
Oh, no shit.
It's like the biggest band that never was.
Oh,
is
cool.
what they called it.
That'd be a
Because
good perspective.
They were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
They were so fucking good,
Yeah.
but they never
crossed
reached
over.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had Lanigan, and then he ended up having like his hands in everything, right?
Yes.
Screaming
Yep.
Trees, Queens of the Stone Age,
Yeah,
and a little bit of Mad Season.
He's with
in
Afghan
there.
Wig. He did a album with Greg Dooley from the Afghan
Yes,
Wigs.
that's right. I forgot about that one.
Afghan Wigs, yeah.
He was actually amazing.
Absolutely.
I would put him arguably almost as the top singer coming out of the grunge movement.
Yeah, I mean, he added
People always say Lane Staley, this and that,
Yeah.
but
what he added to Queens of the Stone Age record is nothing without him.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, 100%.
There's 3 or 4 tracks that he's on. He kills it.
yeah, absolutely. And that, you know what? The one thing I thought of the other day, people always talk about like the videos from like Nirvana's Unplugged or Alice in Chains Unplugged or all of them, right? And all these different things. But the one video from the 90s, Mad Season from
Oh.
the Moore Theater or whatever.
Yeah.
to me, there's probably no more video from that time than that. Okay. Only because you have no history of that band other than that.
Right.
And that's Lane Staley, Mike McCready.
Right.
I want to say it's someone from Screaming Trees. So
someone
it's like
from Tad or some shit. Yeah.
Yes.
Something.
Tad,
one of those bands. Yeah.
And actually, I never realized, but that band, part of the goal was to get all of them fucking sober.
Oh, no shit.
I never realized that McCready had himself quite a little bit of a habit.
Oh, that's cool.
And so then Lanigan came on for some of the songs, and Lord knows if that was a good or a bad thing.
Sure.
But I'm like, you know what? That was one of the coolest albums and like collaborations ever.
Yeah.
And like that's the literally almost only video of that that's out
right.
there. You have Lane Staley playing guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, you have River of Deceit,
Great
Long
song.
Gone Day.
Yeah.
You know, all these songs.
Yeah, that was a good record. Yeah, I like that.
And I'm like, Nirvana, you have so many videos.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains, you have so many videos.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
To me, that's always been that one concert video that has kind of even stood over the top of all those.
I'm huge into Jeff Buckley, and he, again, was someone who died young. You only have so many videos of him.
Right.
And it just makes it that much more.
Especially because, I mean, if they were dying in that in the 90s, you don't have shit.
You don't have shit.
No.
Right.
Nowadays, it's like dying with
You
fucking
have your
phone.
phone. Right.
Yeah. Or if you were huge, then you were playing everywhere, and there's all these videos out there.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So, unfortunately, I'd say we're probably about the end of this thing, guys.
All right.
No, this has been super fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't thank you guys enough.
Oh, thank you for having us on.
Yeah, for
being
sure.
on.
Yeah.
I do love your guys' effing podcast, by the way.
Thanks.
And
yeah, it's extended play, extendedplaypod.com on all the socials. We put a video show out every week. It's also, there you go.
That was the outro. You didn't forget this time.
It's also audio.
No, it's not the song I wanted, but fuck it, it's going to play for us.
It works for us. Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I love, I think we are very similar.
Yeah.
The one thing we want to do, we want to grow organically.
Yep.
I'm not going to, my job isn't just to fucking get followers. My job is just to have fun.
Spread the
first
love.
and foremost.
Yeah.
Talk about music that you may or may not know about.
Yeah.
I talk about, like the videos that I post. I'm
Yep.
like, my job is to expose you to music, not bring you to the show.
Yep. Yeah, sure.
So hopefully when you see one of these videos, you're like, holy shit, I'm going to go see this band the next time, you know?
Yeah.
And I felt from day one, you guys have the same kind of look and feel that we do with our show.
I think so.
Yeah.
We love music.
Yep.
We love talking about music. We love exposing people to music.
Yep.
We understand the way that connects people.
For sure.
And I'm so happy that you guys.
Yeah, this has been incredible.
We'll probably see it one of those
a year
shows
in the
too.
making. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
We'll
No, I
definitely
would
look
love to understand what you guys are going to, because I like just filling in some here or there and going to shows and just checking new stuff out I've never
sure.
seen before.
For sure.
I mean, that's what music's all about. So,
Yeah.
one, thank you everyone for checking us out. Make sure you check us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Threads, but that shit sucks. but this was season 3, episode 7. Check us out. Peace.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Later, bros.